In this video, I'm going to show you how to work the backward loop cast on. Now, this is one of the simplest methods going, so if you are a beginner, you might want to start with this method before you move on to some of the other methods. Backward loop cast on is not only good for starting a project, but if you are working a project like a cardigan or any sort of project that needs you to add stitches in the middle of the project at the end of a row, then the backward loop cast on is also a method that can be used because you use your working yarn to add the stitches. That being said, it does have quite a lot of stretch to it. So if you are looking for a cast on method that gives you a fairly sturdy bottom edge, then the backward loop cast on might not be for you. But it's definitely one that is great to start with before you move on to learn other cast on methods because of its simplicity. To start your cast on, you are going to work a slip knot. You don't need to leave a lot of tail because the working yarn is what creates the cast on. What you do need to make sure that you do when you work your slip knot is make sure that the loop is controlled by the working yarn. So when you make your slip knot, you want to make sure that the loop you pull up that creates the loop from your slip knot is controlled by this working yarn and not by the tail. Once you've made your slip knot, you're going to pop it onto your needle. Then, to make sure that you don't accidentally work with this tail, you want to hold your tail with your hand that's holding the needle. Next, you want to get your thumb and you are going to bring your thumb from behind the working yarn and lift up a loop. So the back of the yarn to the back of your thumb should be the one that's attached to the needle, and the front should be the tail that is attached to the ball. So you are going to wrap your thumb round that yarn, then you're going to get your knitting needle and you're going to come to the front of that U shape that you've made that's attached to the ball. You're going to pop your needle underneath that yarn so that it's like this. Then you drop your thumb out and you pull and tighten. Let's do that again. So you're going to lift up a loop with your thumb, then you're going to hold the working yarn with your finger. You're going to pop your knitting needle under that first leg of yarn and pull it through. Can you see you're creating a loop? Then you're going to pop your thumb out and tighten it up. And as you work more stitches, you will get into a rhythm. So you're going to lift your thumb under that yarn and bring it round. Grab your needle and grab that left-hand side leg. Pop your needle through the loop that's created, and then you can take your thumb out and then you can tighten by putting your thumb in to create that next loop. Lift, drop, and then scoop that working yarn again to tighten. Just once more, pop your thumb underneath that working yarn so you're coming from behind it to the front of it. I like to then lift and scoop my thumb all the way here. Then you're going to grab the left-hand leg of that yarn with your knitting needle. Be careful not to capture both. Then once it's on your needle, you can pull your thumb out and go to start the next one, and as you do that you will pull and tighten the stitch. So you can see what I mean when I tell you how simple this cast on is, because there is only one piece of yarn that you are worrying about to pick up your stitches, and then you can cast on as many stitches as you want, and once you've done that you can turn your work and you're ready to start knitting. So that is the backward loop cast on. Nice and short and sweet, really easy to learn, and once you've mastered this and you feel ready to try another cast on technique, then my personal favourite is the long tail cast on, and I will link that video now because that is the cast on that if you watch any other of my videos you will see me using almost all the time.